teachers in the California State University system rally as they are voting on whether to call for a strike if need be. That story is coming out.
San Jose State University students looking for housing may soon have an upscale option. The where may surprise you. That's ahead.
And we'll take you to a Halloween house that was a year in the making. You'll definitely want to put it on your trick-or-treat list. Those stories and more on Update News.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Larry Larkin.
And I'm Carson Wells. We begin with a union representing teachers in the California State University system. They've been negotiating for better wages and working conditions for months. Now, members are being asked to vote on whether or not to authorize a strike if they can't reach a resolution. Reporter Alexis Marquez has that story.
Members had a rally here at San Jose State campus this week. The deadline for that strike vote is approaching fast. The California Faculty Association represents some 29,000 teachers, librarians, counselors, and coaches across the 23 CSU campuses. The rank and field members held a rally to draw attention to their lack of progress.
There was a professor last semester who the wages were so bad that she actually lived in her car while still working full-time as a professor. And things like that, when you hear it, it's ridiculous.
What are the workers asking for? Better pay is on that list, as well as working conditions and more benefits.
We would like 12% raise, as well as many other things that the CSU doesn't want to talk about, such as our workload increases that we don't get any additional pay for, extended parental leave time rather than just a few weeks. We would like a whole semester off, and also just spaces on campus that are safe spaces for individuals, like gender-neutral bathrooms.
In a statement nearly 2 weeks ago, CSU Counselor Mildred Garcia said, quote, "Throughout the collective bargaining process, the CSU has been committed to increasing salaries for our employees in a fiscally sustainable manner that ensures we can continue to deliver on our mission of serving our diverse and talented students." What's frustrating to the CFA union members is that the CSU approved a 6% tuition hike for students over 5 years, and some of the top administrators got raises up to 29%. Stay tuned. Tomorrow's the last day CFA members can vote to authorize a strike. That work stoppage would only happen if the two sides can't find a compromise. Live in San Jose, I'm Alexis Marquez, Update News.
A Bay Area pilot is behind bars in Oregon, facing 83 counts of attempted murder. He is accused of trying to stop a flight midair. 44-year-old Joseph David Emerson of Pleasant Hill pleaded not guilty to the charges. Court documents say the off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot was hitching a ride home to San Francisco over the weekend. He was seated in the cockpit jump seat when he suddenly tried to shut down the fuel supply to the plane's engines. The pilot struggled with him and got him to the back, where he then allegedly tried to open an emergency exit. The plane landed in Oregon, where Emerson was arrested. He told investigators he hadn't slept and had taken magic mushrooms 48 hours before.
If you've ever thought about majoring in marijuana, now you can. California State University East Bay is launching 4 new cannabis certificate programs. Experts say California already accounts for about 20% of legal marijuana business in the country, but the number of weed sellers is going down because of heavy state regulation. The university is teaming up with Green Flower to train students in health, weed agriculture, and compliance with California laws. The certificate program starts in November and will cost about $3,000 each.
Are hotel rooms the answer to the student housing crisis at San Jose State? The idea looks like it's closer to being a reality, but not everyone is on board. Reporter Madison Wilbur has the story.
The San Jose City Council has approved a plan to sell the south wing of the former Fairmont Hotel, now known as Signia Hilton, to a developer. The developer would in turn lease more than 200 rooms to San Jose State. Some students say it could help students who are struggling to find housing.
If you want to try to look for an apartment, it's super expensive, and you have to have 5 roommates in order to pay for rent, which sucks.
It's not entirely a new idea. UC Santa Cruz has partnered with several hotels to house graduate students, but San Jose City Hall is torn over the project. The hotel sits in a prominent location on Main Street. Converting part of it to student housing would mean losing hotel rooms that attract convention and convention goers.
We are sacrificing significant convention business in the future every time we end up losing hotel rooms.
Another concern from the city, the loss of the transient occupancy tax, or TOT. That's a tax imposed on hotel guests that hotel operators collect and pay to the city on a monthly or quarterly basis. Councilmember Pam Foley believes bringing more students downtown will make up for the loss of that tax in sales revenue, compared to a convention that may or may not happen.
They don't have people occupying those rooms now, so it's zero revenue for TOT to the city of San Jose. Zero versus sales tax, I'll take it any day.
SJSU said they are not prepared to speak on the topic until the agreement is final, but anticipate an announcement soon. In San Jose, this is Madison Wilbur, Update News.
If you drive with a lead foot, then watch out. Speed cameras have been given the green light in 6 California cities. Those cities include San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Governor Newsom signed legislation allowing the trial run of the automated cameras starting next year. Drivers will automatically be ticketed if they exceed the posted speed limit by 11 miles per hour. The new law comes as pedestrian deaths have spiked statewide.
California is among dozens of states who have launched a lawsuit against Facebook and its parent company Meta. 33 states filed the suit this week in federal court in Oakland, in that the states claim the company's social platforms like Facebook and Instagram are addictive and harm children's mental health. Attorneys general in 9 other states and the District of Columbia are filing similar separate suits in their jurisdictions. Meta responded by saying it has provided more than 30 tools to help support teens and their families, and that it was disappointed the attorneys general chose a lawsuit rather than trying to work together.
A widespread meme on TikTok is considered by many a put down to young Latinos who don't speak Spanish. Now, some are fighting back, saying they won't be shamed. Reporter Alejandra Vaca has that story.
You might have seen the trending hashtag No Sabo on TikTok. It's got more than 675 million views. The term No Sabo is an improper phrase. It's slang for no sé, meaning I don't know. The viral tag refers to second-generation Latinos who don't speak Spanish. Now, many of those young adults are clapping back while still embracing their culture. They say you don't have to be fluent in Spanish to be considered Hispanic.
I don't think I myself would consider myself no sabo because, I think as long as you can communicate with whoever else there is, the people who are fluent, I think it really doesn't matter if you can't speak it or not.
A study published by the Pew Research Center found that about half of non-Spanish speakers have been shamed by other Hispanics for not speaking Spanish. Yet most Latino adults say it is not necessary to speak Spanish in order to be considered Latino, while 21% say it is. And a majority of Latinos say they practice English and Spanish interchangeably, as in Spanglish.
They're trying to figure it out. I think they're trying to not leave, I guess, their roots to say, their culture. But it's obvious that they have, they're having a difficult time, with it.
At this charreada, a mix of first and second generation Spanish speakers come together to celebrate the best parts of their culture. And all tongues are welcomed. Liana is a second generation Spanish speaker, and although she was introduced to a second language at a young age, her parents continue to encourage her to speak Spanish while embracing her traditions.
For me, with my daughter, I tried speaking to her only Spanish. My husband didn't. He spoke English to her. So up until she was 2, she was mostly just Spanish.
For those trying to learn the language, experts say Spanish, just like any other language, is a task that requires constant practice. You can sing along to your favorite Spanish artist, try translating whenever you can, or maybe watch a telenovela. This is Alejandra Vaca, Update News.
What's the latest on the national news front? Here's Madison Wilbur.
Welcome to Minute with Madison. Let's begin. An off-duty Bay Area Alaskan Airlines pilot is in an Oregon jail after he allegedly tried to shut down the engines mid-flight. Court documents say Joseph Emerson told the other pilots in the cockpit, "I am not okay," before trying to grab hold of 2 handles that would have cut the power to the plane's engines. He has pleaded not guilty to multiple charges, including attempted murder. The documents also say he told investigators he hadn't slept in 40 hours and had taken psychedelic mushrooms. In Louisiana, a super fog caused a major pileup involving 158 vehicles. 7 people died. Another 25 were injured. The superfog came from nearby marsh fires and a natural dense fog in that area. A former National Security Agency employee pleaded guilty to charges of attempting to sell secret information to Russia. He was caught when he tried to sell classified documents to someone he thought was a Russian spy. Turns out it was an undercover FBI agent. And billions of snow crabs in the ocean surrounding Alaska have disappeared. This year's snow crab harvest was canceled for the second time in a row, and scientists believe their disappearance is linked to the warmer water temperatures that have caused the crabs to starve to death. And that's your national news in a minute. I'm Madison Wilbur.
There's a lot more ahead. Here's what's next. A ban on using water for non-functional turf has just passed. What is it, and who is affected? We'll tell you just ahead.
And a warning about which Halloween decorations could pose a danger to animals and why.
Does your Halloween outfit need a raincoat? Coming up, I'll let you know on our 7-day forecast.
There is another effort to conserve water in California. A new law Governor Newsom just signed would eventually ban using drinkable water on turf that's mostly decorative. Here's more on what I found out about it.
Take a look at this grass. It's what's called non-functional turf, meaning it's not regularly used for human or recreational purposes for civic or community events. A new state law will make it illegal to use potable or drinkable water to irrigate non-functional turf. Experts say it's needed to protect our scarce water resources, especially because of California's droughts.
The reality of what we're facing with climate change and the reality that we have a hotter and drier climate and we have less water supply. So protecting the water supplies we have, whether we're in a drought or not, is very, very important.
You might be thinking, aren't there already water restrictions in California? If so, why would this law be necessary?
That it makes permanent some temporary drought restrictions on the use of potable water to irrigate what is referred to as non-functional turf.
I spoke with a San Jose State teacher who specializes in environmental studies about why the law is needed.
The state of California is trying to reduce what they consider to be wasteful water use, and because of the climate in California, they consider that turf irrigation is probably one of the largest urban water users in the state of California.
In Santa Clara County, an ordinance similar to new legislation already exists.
We already here in Santa Clara County have waterways rules that prohibit the watering of non-functional turf for CII properties. So that's already in place here in Santa Clara County during non-drought years.
The new law will be implemented on a phased approach beginning January 1st, 2027. It will not apply to cemeteries on properties of homeowners associations, common interest developments, and community service organizations or similar entities. In Campbell, Larry Larkin, Update News.
Big plans are being proposed for the NASA Ames Research Center at Moffett Field in Mountain View. UC Berkeley and a commercial developer are teaming up to create what they're calling the Berkeley Space Center. The 36-acre project is expected to develop technologies in the fields of astronautics, quantum computing, and climate studies. The center will be located across from the street from Hangar 1. Local think tank Joint Venture Silicon Valley is praising the project as a win-win for NASA, for Berkeley, and for the South Bay.
If you're decorating for Halloween, here's a warning you should know about. It concerns those fake spiderwebs that are so popular. Animal care groups are cautioning you not to trim your house with those synthetic spiderwebs. They are petroleum-based and they don't biodegrade. Birds, butterflies, and squirrels can get tangled in the fake webs.
So, what's the weather going to be like for trick-or-treating? Alejandra Vaca has your weather forecast.
Hi, I'm Alejandra Vaca with your 7-day forecast. So this is what you can expect for the next 5 days. It's finally starting to feel like fall. We have cooler temperatures dropping down to 40s and 50s, and also with some possible rain chances returning by Wednesday and Friday, and things should start to clear out by the weekend. And an active jet stream will direct storms into the west coast midweek. The first storm brings in cooler air, breezy conditions, and some rain possible, mainly for areas north of San Francisco. By late Thursday and Friday, it's looking like better chance for some rain at times, and note temperatures that would be cold enough for snow over the Sierra. And for your 7-day outlook, We have Santa Cruz, temperatures trending cooler with rain chances in the week and possible rain on Friday. And things will start to clear up by the weekend. In Oakland, temperatures take a dive later in the week. Also, mornings will be more chilly with lows in the 40s into the East Bay Valley. And in San Francisco, rain chances will increase later in the week with weekend clearing, but not much warming, and also possible rain on Friday. And here in San Jose, the best chance for rain will have to wait until Friday as well before we see the return of clearing skies for the weekend. And that is it for your 7-day forecast. I hope you have a happy Halloween weekend. And that is it. Back to the desk.
Stay with us. There's lots more just ahead.
The Spartans score a big win and set some new records at the homecoming game. The play-by-play is just ahead.
I'm Carson Wells. Coming up, I'll take you behind the scenes of the Albertsons Halloween house and all the planning that goes into it. This homecoming weekend marked a sad anniversary for the Spartan family. It was 1 year after the tragic death of freshman running back Camden McWright. Instead of asking for a moment of silence to honor him, the team asked for a few moments of loudness.
Please join us now in a moment of loudness in Camden's memory. Get on your feet and make some noise.
The 18-year-old was riding an electric scooter to an early morning team meeting when he was struck and killed by a school bus. His death devastated the campus. McWright played in one game at SJSU against UNLV. His coaches said that he showed tremendous potential.
This was a homecoming football game for the history books, and it ended with a Spartan win over the Utah State Aggies. Reporter Levern Johnson was right down on the field. He has that story, along with a fellow sports reporter from Utah.
It's been 9 years since San Jose State won a homecoming game, so a lot was on the line for the Spartans. But after a close 37-32 loss against the Fresno State Bulldogs, Utah State came into the matchup hungry for a victory. Before the game, I spoke with fellow student journalist Madison Weber from Utah State about what she expected from her Aggies.
We've had some players really step up this year and have some amazing stats. Ike Larson is from Cache Valley, where the university is, so he's definitely a fan favorite, pulling up really good stats, always finding the ball. Terrell Vaughn, Jalen Royals, they're all putting up great stats, so they'll be fun to watch today.
San Jose State dominated the first quarter, scoring the first 2 touchdowns. But in the second, the Aggies answered back with 2 touchdowns of their own. With the game tied at the half, Spartans junior running back Quali Conley rushed for a 6-yard touchdown, followed by a 10-yard touchdown pass from senior quarterback Chevin Cordero to linebacker Charles Rogers, giving the Spartans a 28-14 lead. From there, Cordero found wide receiver Nick Nash open for a 29-yard touchdown pass, increasing the lead to 35-14. After an Aggies touchdown, senior running back Kyrie Robinson found himself in the end zone for the second time of the game after a 1-yard touchdown run to finish off Utah State 42-21. Robinson also found himself in the record books, as he now has recorded 2,000 career rushing yards.
The Spartans sit at 3-5 and will head to Hawaii to take on the Rainbow Warriors this weekend. That's it for our sports recap. I'm Larry Larkin.
We are T-minus 5 days from Halloween, and one San Jose family has been preparing for the holiday for a year. I checked out some of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into making their annual Halloween house happen.
This greenhouse may look normal now, but in just a few days it will transform into a Halloween spectacle. This year's theme is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Eric and Michelle Albertson go all out every year, transforming their downtown San Jose house into a festive attraction for trick-or-treaters. It all started back in 2002 when they moved into the home and used boxes left by the prior owners to decorate for the ghostly holiday.
So we made a little castle facade by our front door, and we had a great time doing that. The kids in the neighborhood really liked it, and so we said, oh, we should probably do this again.
Since then, the front yard design has gotten bigger and better every year. Past themes like Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park were all voted on by the family of 3. This year is the first year their daughter didn't vote because she started college.
And we all have to be unanimous in what theme we're doing because we're all going to put a lot of work into it.
This year, our daughter went to college and won't be here this year, so it was just 2 of us voting, which is how Monty Python and the Holy Grail made the cut. She had not been voting for that in the past.
The husband and wife duo hosted a paint day last weekend to help get things ready to go. Friends and neighbors came over to help paint, cut, and even try on costumes they'll be wearing for the trick-or-treaters. Some of them have been involved for almost as long as the house has been running. Bethany Lewis, a longtime family friend, has been helping at the house for 19 years.
Every year, Eric always lets us know, the theme, and sometimes I'll say, well, this is the character I want to be, and sometimes he'll ask me, who do you want to be this year? Would you be this person? So this year he said, we're looking for knights. I said, great, I'll be a knight.
Bethany will be joined by other iconic characters from the film and will be handing out candy and interacting with people coming and going. The theme for next year has already been decided, and the Albertsons suggest keeping your eye out for a hidden Easter egg to guess what it'll be.
Trick-or-treaters can come check out the house from 6:30 to 8:30 on October 30th and 31st. It's located at 497 North 16th Street.
While you're out trick-or-treating, you have to wear the right gear. So what costume are you going with this year? That's the question we asked in this week's State of the Spartan.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
A broke college student. Demon Hunter's been very popular in the past. Zombie Hunter's been good in the past.
For Halloween, my plans right now is my boy and I, we're dressing up as Mario and Luigi. We just don't have any ideas. A few friends of ours, we're going to do characters from Madagascar.
Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
What? Tell me about that.
It's the girl that wears the purple dress with the green scarf.
Ooh! I'm gonna be Beast Boy from Teen Titans.
Looking for something else that's fun to do this Halloween weekend? Here are some ideas in my calendar.
Here's what's coming up this Halloween weekend. On October 28th, History Park Children's Halloween Haunt. Enjoy family-friendly crafts, activities, and trick-or-treating. Activities start at 2 p.m. at History Park in San Jose. Also on October 28th, Community Day, Dia de los Muertos at San Jose Museum of Art. Enjoy live entertainment and local artists. Entry is free and the event is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. From October 28th to 29th, Tech or Treat, Halloween at the Tech Interactive. Combine Halloween and tech for a fun, family-friendly environment. Adults are $34 and kids are $28, and the event runs all day. Finally, on October 30th, the Halloween Bassoon Spectacular. Entry is free, and the event starts at 7 p.m. at the Music Building Concert Hall. That's all for this week. Happy Halloween!
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. We'll see you next week.